Hey everyone, it's Evan here from the Trade Risk on Monday, March 27th, bringing you just a quick market update here, brief market update, and then spend some time looking at a few trade ideas. Should be a pretty quick video. Just wanted to touch base here on Monday because we did see some market movement. So let's talk about the IWM first. You can see here we did finish green on the day, which is very, very impressive considering we were down over 1.5% intraday. You can see I get a few lines drawn here, a little bit of a busy chart, but notice 134, this horizontal level, that's the key general area. You know, it's that general 50 cent to $1 range in between 133.50, 134.50. That's where we found support. That was the bottom end of our range throughout December and January, early February of this year. And recently, of course, we came slamming down into that level last Tuesdays where we had this huge drop coming all the way down to 134. Sellers did probe below it. We got as low as 133 on last Wednesday, but you can see we still reversed and closed above 134. That was followed by a 2-day bounce, and then today, of course, we had that big drop all the way back down to 133, and then a rally to close back above 134. So you can see that selling is just drying up below this 134. Bulls are stepping up here at this general area. You can see indicated by these yellow lines, this channel that we've been trading in now, if you want to draw it like this, starting from the end of February. So we do still have some pressure to the downside. The trend is lower here on the IWM. We're making lower lows and lower highs. The 8 and 20 period moving average are still bearishly aligned above price. So we still certainly have some bearish characteristics here with respect to trend, but you can see that we do have a bit of a stance here, and it'll be interesting to see if we can muster up more of a bounce, take out these recent highs here, maybe get to the top or upper end of this channel here. That might be able to start to change the character a bit, but something to take notice that we could be in for a bit of a bounce if we can start to get above these highs. It's still a very dicey situation though. So that's all I really wanted to say. Just notice the uptick in volume, notice some of these significant levels. With that, let's talk about some individual names, some individual setups. The first is Square. We've talked about this one in the past, and this one really started to move today, up 4%. Tough to chase, just given how much ground it covered from the lower end of this little consolidation pattern to the upper end. We do have this trend line extending from the highs here, but we also have this horizontal support resistance, what we would expect to be resistance, right around 17.25. So we're right into that zone. Be interesting to pay attention. If Square can get some follow through tomorrow, that would certainly signal that this uptrend does want to continue. So something to pay attention to there in Square. Next is WYNN. Certainly nothing new here. This is a name that has a lot of attention, but we did get a nice engulfing bar today, a little bit of an uptick in volume, and this is after, of course, this big breakout that happened just 2 weeks ago above this 105 to 108 area, depending on how you want to draw your resistance. But this has got momentum to the upside. This is in the markup phase, so this looks good. 2.5% day, closing at highs here. Also, what's interesting about WYNN, if you scale back, take a look at this open gap all the way back here, back from May of 2015. It opens up right around 109 and it goes all the way up to about 127. And I'm sorry, I said that wrong, 119 all the way up to about 127. So that's interesting that we have that open gap up there getting pretty close to it. Maybe the market is beelining for that. Maybe that is going to get filled over the next couple of weeks. So something to pay attention to there in WYNN. Next is Snap. This one here, recent IPO, of course. It's getting a bit of love after being pretty hated off the open, off the first couple of weeks of trading. If we go back down to the hourly time frame, notice we do have an uptrend in place here on the hourly. If you zoom in a little bit, notice we got a bit of some uptick in volume here. So a nice little volume pattern forming over the past few sessions. $24, that was the IPO price. That was the IPO. Well, that was the secondary. That was as it came to the secondary market and started trading. It did open up at 24, yeah, 24 flat. So that's going to be an interesting reference point if we can start to get some closes above there, some progress above there. That'll certainly, open up the talks of perhaps retesting these highs up there at $29. So something to look at here in Snap as it's starting to get off of these lows. Now, of course, $24 is a significant spot. We ran up to it today, faded off the highs. Maybe it deserves a little bit of a pullback. Again, I'm not saying you should rush in here and buy any of these names today, something just to bring to your attention. Next is AXTA. This is Axalta Coating Systems. This is a name that we got into today. This is something that we bought towards the end of the day for a pullback trade. What I'm looking at here is this big breakout that occurred in late February, or actually at the beginning of March, as we zoomed above $30, ran up to about 33 and change, pulled back off of that over the past week or so, and you can see we got a little bit of a reversal right at that 20 period, right at some prior supply, some prior potential support. So I like this little reclaim here. Take a look at the volume pattern. You can see nice accumulation on this breakout. So classic kind of pullback trade, something we trade quite a bit. So this is something that we're involved in. Stops around $30, looking for a move back up towards these recent highs. So that's something we're involved in right now. And then finally, QSR. This is something that also has my attention. You can see maybe a slower name, but something that's acted very well here towards the end of 2016 and beginning of this year, as it really started to break out above this $45, $50 range. Made a high up here around 58. It's pulled back very slowly, methodically, kind of taking its time, and now it's trying to get going again. So no position in this right now. If we can get a close or so above $55, looks like it would be very well in motion back towards those recent highs. So another name to pay attention to. So that is the quick wrap up here for Monday. I hope you had a good day trading. Thank you for watching, and talk to you again soon.